So let me explain again. Java methods or functions is the crucial for the entire Java and Selenium also. So you will write methods only, even in Java, even in Selenium also. So that's why methods topic is a very, very important topic. And a method is a sub-block of a class that contains the logic of the class. Mainly, logic is placed inside the method body, not directly at a class level. If you place the logic at a class level, the system will throw a compile time error. So class level, you can declare only variables and methods. But logic, you cannot write at a class level. That means class below, above the methods. You can just declare the variables, either static variable or non-static variables. And methods, you can declare all the methods. So the logic of the method can be either method invocation or method calls. One method you can call in another method. That is called method invocation or method calling. You're calling M1 method in M2 method. That is called method invocation or method calling. Instead of duplicating the code, you can call that method. That method logic will execute here for you in method 2. That is called method invocation or method calling. Calculation, you can do all mathematical operations and conditional operators. So whatever you want, you can do. So this calculation and print related statement. Some data you want to print. You can use system.out.println or system.out.print. So you want to print and cursor, you want to go to next line, use println method. You want to print, but cursor, you want to stay in the same line, use print method, system.out.print. And what you want to print, put in the parenthesis inside. That will print. So that's all about method. Method is part of a class, one member of a class. So the method syntax is access modifier, keywords, return type, method name, parenthesis, curly bracket, the method body, and curly bracket ends. Every method starts with a curly bracket, ends with a curly bracket. So in this part, you will write all the logic. So first part, let's understand the method parts. The head portion of method is called method prototype. So this is one. See, so public is the access modifier. Keywords is a static keyword. Return type is a void. Method name is main. And parenthesis. So these are the arguments. So this entire part is called method prototype. So method body and logic. The curly braces reason is called method body. So this one. This portion is called method body. So method body inside, you can place the logic. The logic can be anything. So it can be method calls, object creation, print related statement, and calculation part. Anything you can write inside the method body. Next, method parameters and arguments. This topic is a very, very important. So read the statement. The variables declared in method parentheses, that means here, are called parameters. So what is the parameters definition? The variables declared in method parentheses are called parameters. You can define a method with a 0 to n number of parameters. So here I didn't give, so this is the parameters, right? But here I didn't give any parameters. This is the 0 parameters. But here you have array type of arguments. String type is the string is the data type and arguments is the parameter. So this is the data type and parameter, right? That's a variable you can declare how you declare variables. So data type, variable name. So I covered this already, how you can declare the variable. So that is called parameters. So the values passing to those parameters are called arguments. So if you want to pass values to the arguments, values to the parameters, that is called arguments. So when you can pass values to these parameters, while calling the method, while invocation of the method, we must pass the arguments. In method invocation or calling time, we must pass arguments according to the parameter order and data type. So the syntax of parameterized method is like this: access modifier, keywords, return type, method name, parenthesis, data type, P1, comma. If you want to declare one more parameter, again, data type, parameter 2, comma, data type, parameter 3. Like that, you can declare n number of parameters. If you don't want to, don't give any parameters, just leave it blank. So now see, this is the example I'm giving here. Access modifier, I have taken public. Keyword, I took a static keyword. Without keyword also, you can write. If you take a static keyword, that's static method it will be. I'm coming to that part. So return type is a void keyword. Then add method. So method name, add I have given. So int a, comma, float b. So I can sum any integer and float values with this method logic. I can write. So what I will get, integer, float, output, float only I will get. That's why the left side float, variable name sum equal to a plus b. This parameter name I'm using here, and plus I'm doing a mathematical simple calculation, and b, both are summing up. That's the logic. This is the logic. This is called logic. Now this is the local variable, right? Sum is a local variable. Why it is a local variable? Data type, variable name equal to value. So where it is declared inside the method body. Declaration also, declaration and assigning the value. So that's why sum is a local to this add method. But logic you are building. See, I didn't give values, or where you are giving values. You call the method in the main method. In the main method, if you call only, that will execute, right? Otherwise, it won't execute. So that's why I'm calling the method. How to call the one method in another method. So this is also static method. Main also static method. So you can call static methods directly in the main method. Both are same category. So you can call directly with the method name. So method name is, what is the method name? Add. So add. Now you give a value integer, what value you want to give, and b value float value. So a value I have given 5 and b value I have given 10.5. So this is called method invocation or method calling, parameterized method. How you can call, how you can give values. Here you should not give values. Here you just declare parameters. And this is the generic method you are developing. And you can, anybody can go and call this method. They don't need to write again logic. The same method they don't need to create. So they can call this method and they can be reuse the same logic for their purposes. That's the advantage of methods. So reusability will be there. No need to create the same logic again and again. That you can avoid with the method concept. Some code you are duplicating, you can avoid that duplication with the method concept. And now again, see, I can call the same method, I can give different data. Again, first time you give this data and that will store here. Again, if you give second time, it will go a value 15. 15, wherever you are using a, 15 will replace. B value 22.2. 22.2. Both will sum, it will store here. Like n number of times you can call parameterized methods. You can give a different data. That's the advantage with the parameterized methods. Very, very important topic, this one. Highly used topic, this one. In everywhere, entire Selenium methods are depends on this topic. Very small, but highly used topic. Okay, any question here before jumping on to the next method, signature? Okay.
So, Ramesh, here you are saying the add you are using 2 times, right? So
Yeah.
it will
Okay. Next topic is method signature. Means what? The combination of method name and parameters. That means this one, right? Method name, parameters. That is called method signature. Method name, parameters. So that means this one. Method name, parameters. That is called method signature. So this is another fifth one, is a very important topic again. One is a parameters topic is crucial. And this one is very, very important. Method return type. What is meant by return type? So the keyword that is placed before method name is called method return type. So this will tell your compiler and JVM what type of value your method is going to return to you. Whether your method is giving output to you and you can use it somewhere else or not. That is told by this method return type part. So understand this, read this definition is very, very clear. What is this? The keyword that is placed before method name is called method return type. Can you tell me here what is the return type here in this line? Definition, remember the definition.
Void.
Exactly. See the keyword that is placed before the method name. What is the keyword before the method name?
And
so the method name here main. What is the keyword before method name?
void.
Void. So void is one of the return type keyword. Then what will happen when you declare a method with void? What will happen? So that method is not going to return anything for you. You cannot use that method output anywhere. It doesn't return anything. Nothing will return to you if you use a void in the method signature line. Method prototype line, if void keyword if you use as a return type keyword, what that method will do? It doesn't return any output to you. Just it will execute all the statements, but you cannot use that output anywhere. That is the void keyword means. What is void keyword means? If nothing is written by the method, then we can use void keyword, which specifies method returns nothing. Then what is the other keywords which returns a value? There are all the primitive and non-primitive data types are return type keywords. They will return that type of data by the method. If you use a other primitive and non-primitive data types in place of return type keyword, other than void, those methods will return that type of data. For example, you are using an integer. So that means your method is going to return to you integer type of data. In the void place, you have to put int there. Here you put integer here. So in this, you can put integer. So then you will write a below method body return keyword. You will write return this sum. You will do that time. You should not use void. So void means it doesn't return. If you want to return this method, you want to return this output, then what you need to do? Remove the void. In void place, you put a what is the output you are getting? Float, right? You write float here. So then below you write a return some value. Then this output you can use anywhere else. Other methods also you can call. One method output you can use in another methods by making the methods return type. By making the methods without void. You can make the methods without void, then you can use that method output in another methods. If you use void, you cannot use that method out. Please remember this point, very, very important. So what are the return type keywords? Void also one return type, but that doesn't return any output, just executes all the lines of code for it. But if you use other boolean, char, byte, short, int, long, float, double, string, interface, class name, array name, collection types, map, any of these other primitive and non-primitive data types, then your method is going to return that type of data. And that data you can use outside the methods also. So that is the return type keyword, another very important. So methods are two types: static methods, non-static methods. How you can recognize static methods? If method prototype line has a static keyword, then that method is called static method. Static method belongs to the class rather than object of a class. So static method can be called without creating object for a class. You don't need to create object for a class to call the static methods. Static method can access static data member and can change the value of static data member. You can define as many static methods in the class, but each method is independent. So you can refer one method with other method by method calls only. Through calls, you can refer each other. So any static method can call any other static method in the same file or same class. Same file means same class, right? Same file means same class. Same file means same class. So in a Java library like math class, math is the one of the class. In this class, all mathematical related methods are available. All are static methods. In this math class, every method is a static method. How can you call a static method? I told you, class name dot static method or static variable. I given syntax in the system dot out. System is a one class. In that, all variables are static final variables. And methods also static method. How we called class name dot static method. Here also math class, every method is a static method. How you can call in another place? Class name, that class name dot that static method name. So static methods can be called inside non-static methods also directly, because static means common, right? Like static variables you can call in the static methods, non-static methods. Even static methods also you can call directly in non-static method also. Directly, you don't need any object reference, nothing. That's the advantage with the static keyword. Remember one thing, static means it's a common thing. So you can use static variables and static methods in all the methods. So static method syntax is access modifier, static, void, method name, parenthesis, curly bracket, logic, curly bracket ends. So static methods again two types: non-parameterized static method, parameterized static methods. If a method doesn't contain any parameters within the parentheses, then that is called static method without parameters. If a method contains parameters inside the parentheses, then that method is called parameterized static method. So the syntax is access modifier, static, void, method name. So data type p1 comma data type p2. These are the parameters. This is without parameters. Without parameters, with void. With void, with parameters. See, combination I'm going to give here. Please catch that. With void, without parameters. You can create a static method. This is the syntax. With void, with parameters. You want to create a static method. This is the syntax you have to follow. Then you have one more two types are there. I don't want to use void keyword. Then what is my static method syntax? So this is the very important again. If you don't try to void keyword in method signature line, then what is the static method syntax? Access modifier, static, data type. In the void place, what is coming? Data type is coming, then method name, parenthesis, curly bracket. You write the logic, then what is extra you're getting? Return keyword. And what value you want to return by this method? When you call this method, This value you will get there in another methods. This return keyword is not there in the void methods. Can you see this? The body inside. The return keyword is not there, but without void, the body inside you have a return keyword. That's the last keyword before closing this end curly bracket. So then this is without void, without parameters. Then another static method, access modifier static data type method name data type p1 comma data type p2, and you write the logic and return the output with return keyword. So that means you are returning this type of data. So this method is returning what type of data? How do you know? Method name before, that is a return type, right? Method name before, the return type is here. Method name before, return type is there. So that method is returning this type of data for you. Please remember, this is the only topic, highly used topic, methods concept only. Everywhere you attend next class, you will come to know methods only. Other than methods, nothing is there. Methods, variables, and control structures, one more topic. These three topics are pillars. Please focus in these areas. You put 1,000 times extra effort in these areas only. You should be 100% strong on how to create 4 types of methods I can write, 4 combinations. One is a static method with void, without parameters. With void, with parameters. So without void, without parameters. Without void, with the parameters. So 4 types of methods we are going to create. I'll show you that also. Now let's move on to the non-static methods. Quickly we'll finish. Non-static methods. Same syntaxes, but only static keyword won't be there. Static keyword won't be there. That's it. See, non-static method. If a method doesn't contain a static keyword, then that method is called non-static method or instance method. See, access modifier, return type, method name, parenthesis, logic, and body. So parameterized instance method. If a method contains parameters inside the parenthesis, that method is called parameterized instance method. Access modifier, void, method name, data type p1 comma data type p2. How we are declaring parameters? This is the very important parameter. What is the parameter? Parameter, no definition. Declaring a variable inside the parenthesis. That is called parameters. First data type, then parameter name. If you want to declare one more parameter, first data type, parameter 2, then method body, right? So then another one, see this, the example I'm giving, public void set emp name. See, data type is a string, a variable name is a parameter name is a name. Then curly bracket, method body. So non-parameterized instance method. If a method name doesn't contain any parameters, the access modifier void method name, parenthesis. So curly bracket start, method body and logic. So without void, access modifier, data type. See, void I'm removing. I'm putting a data type. Method name, parenthesis, logic, return the value. So what is the value you want to return? So you return the value. So like this example, protected data type, get emp name. So return the name. So wherever you want a name, you call this method, you will get the emp name. So that's a return. What is the return type of this method? String. What is the return type of this method? String data type it is returning. So access modifier, data type, method name, data type p1 comma data type p2. This is the method with parameters without void. Then logic you build return variable. So these are the methods how you can know 2 types of methods we have, static and non-static methods. So I'll show you how you can call static methods, how you can call non-static methods. So with the programs. Tomorrow I'll show you that how we can call the static methods and how you can call the non-static methods. First, we'll start with the static, all the static thing. Then we'll go for the non-static. So there is one more static block. Static block is first you will create a static, then curly bracket, and inside that you will write the logic, then curly bracket end. This static block is also called initialization block. Without calling the anywhere in the main method, first this initialization block code will execute. The static block code will execute anywhere in the program class inside. If you put a static block, first this static block code will execute, then only main method. First, generally main method inside only code will execute, right? But if you put any code in the static block inside, first that will execute. Then it will come to main method. That's a initialization block or a static block, we call this. So just static keyword, curly bracket, and you write the logic, curly bracket end. That's it. That's called static block. So that's all no methods I covered, and tomorrow I'll explain you how you can call static block demo. I'll show you. Then some system variables demo. So tomorrow we are starting the programming, coding we are starting. Okay. So then we'll see. But before this, you have to come back with strong syntax with this syntaxes.